The 3/5ths Compromise, in my opinion, is one of the most shameful agreements in American history, and it happened because our forefathers were afraid to deal with the issue of slavery. The 3/5ths Compromise happened at the Constitutional Convention. Both the North and the South were arguing whether slaves should count towards the state's population or not. The Southern states wanted slaves to count towards the state's population because in the Great Compromise, which had been agreed upon earlier, the House of Representatives states would have more representation in that House if they had a higher population. Obviously, if you count the slaves, Southern states would have much more population, thus more power in the government. The Northerners argued against it. They said that since the slaves had no rights and no voting rights, they should not be counted. Both sides are wrong. They should have been working towards ending slavery, not making compromises about it. The compromise was reached, however, and they decided to count slaves as 3/5ths of a person, which was based on old Articles of Confederation taxation rule. Also, they agreed not to discuss the slave trade or the issue of slavery for another 20 years. And then, if Congress wanted to deal with that issue, they could talk about it again. They were delaying dealing with the issue. They were scared to deal with the issue. They did not want to cause anyone to be upset. Meanwhile, they are keeping the immoral practice of slavery alive and going forward. What can we learn from this? You can't compromise on things that are morally wrong. Compromises are great, but some things cannot be compromised upon. Also, we have to deal with issues right away. Our founding fathers had the opportunity to end slavery at the Declaration of Independence. They had the opportunity again to end slavery when they created the Constitution. Both times they failed to do so because they were afraid of what would happen right away, causing discord in the country. However, the consequences of continuing slavery will grow and grow and grow and greatly harm our country as we have to deal with a civil war, racism, cultural divide, geographical divide that will haunt our country. In some ways still haunts our country today. Meanwhile, the tragedy of slavery will continue for many more decades. I hope this was helpful and helps you understand the 3/5ths Compromise and the lessons we can learn from it.